Hello children, welcome to our science session. Today, before we begin our session, let's have a quick recap of the chapter Reproduction in Animals, what we have learned in the last session. In last session, we have learned about asexual reproduction in animals. That is a process in which a single parent gives birth to a new individuals is called as asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction occurs in small microscopic animals like amoeba and other animals like hydra. Then we have learned that in amoeba, it reproduces by the method called as binary fission. And in hydra, the reproduction takes place by the method called as budding. So binary fission and budding are different types of asexual reproduction we have learned in the last session. Now, then we have learned about sexual reproduction. That is reproduction beginning from the fusion of male and female gamete is called as sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, we have learned about male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs. Isn't it? Male reproductive organs in humans, it includes a pair of testes, then two sperm ducts and a penis. If you see here, it is sperm duct, penis and testis, pair of testes. And testis, it produces a male gamete called sperms. And millions of sperms are produced by the testis. And then we have learnt about those sperms are very small in size. It is a male gamete. It is a male reproductive cell, isn't it? So it is very small in size. Then, though it is very small in size, it has three distinct parts, namely head, middle piece and tail. Then head consists of nucleus, which contain DNA information of the cell, and middle part contains cell organelles called mitochondria, which is responsible for production of energy. The sperm uses this energy to move. Then tail, it allows the sperm cell to travel fast. Then we have learned about female reproductive organs. The female reproductive organs it consists of a pair of ovaries. See here, a pair of ovaries. Then it consists of oviduct, which is otherwise called as fallopian tube, and the uterus. And ovary produces female gamete called as ova, otherwise we called as egg. And here you can see that ova or egg. And in human being, single matured egg is released into the oviduct once in every month by any one of the ovary. And uterus is the part, this is the part where the development of baby takes place. And like the sperm, egg or ovum, it is also a single cell. Here also in egg you can see that nucleus. Sperm head part contains nucleus. The same way female reproductive cell, egg or ovum, also contains a nucleus. Now further let's proceed about fertilization in this session. Fertilization is the first step in the process of reproduction. It includes fusion of sperm and ovum. We know that sperm is a male reproductive cell and ovum or egg is a female reproductive cell. When sperms come in contact with an egg or ovum, one of the sperm may fuse with the egg. You can see here, like this, many sperms may reach egg, but only one of the sperm may fuse with the egg. Such fusion of egg and the sperm is called as fertilization. And so fertilization is the first process of reproduction in animals, or we can tell reproduction in animals begins when the sperm fuses with an ovum. This process is called as fertilization. And here if you see the nuclei of the sperm and the egg, As we have learned that head of the sperm contains nucleus and egg also contains nucleus. So the nuclei of the sperm and the egg combine together and form single nucleus. As a result, and this stage what we call that as zygote. So what is zygote? The fusion of male and female gamete results in the formation of zygote, and zygote results in the uh, formation of new individual. As we have learned that zygote is formed with the fusion of male and female gametes, the new individual possesses the characteristics of both the parents. So during fertilization, what we have learned, the nuclei of the sperm and the nuclei of the egg fuses to form a single nucleus. This results in the formation of fertilized cell, what we call that as zygote. And zygote is the beginning of the new individual. The process of fertilization is the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and a sperm cell from the father. So if you see the new individual, it inherits some characteristic from the mother and some characteristics from the father. And if you see, if you look at your brother or sister, or if you can see yourself, you can recognize some characters in yours or in your brother or sister will be similar to those of your mother or your father. So next, children, now let us learn about types of fertilization. Fertilization may be of internal fertilization or external fertilization. So what is internal fertilization? Fertilization which takes place inside the body of the female is called as internal fertilization. For example, in humans, dogs, cows, birds, etc. Here fertilization takes place inside the female body. And what is external fertilization? If fertilization takes place outside the body of the female, it is called as external fertilization. And external fertilization is very common in aquatic animals like fish, starfish, amphibian. What are amphibians? Animals which live in water as well as on land, like a frog is called as amphibians. So external fertilization occurs in aquatic animals like fish, starfish, amphibians, etc. Now let's learn about internal fertilization. So what is internal fertilization? Fertilization that takes place inside the body of the female is called as internal fertilization. As we have learned, internal fertilization occur in many animals like human, cow, hens, dogs, etc. And now see about internal fertilization in hens. Hence, they reproduce by laying eggs, isn't it? Here, if you see that fertilization, fertilization occur inside the female body, but the development takes place outside the organism. So here you can tell internal fertilization and external development. But unlike in humans and other animals like cow, dog, etc., fertilization takes place inside the body, as well as the development of embryo also completely takes place inside the body. So here we can tell about internal fertilization and internal development. So first now let us learn about internal fertilization and external development in hens. Hens reproduce by laying eggs, isn't it? After the formation of zygote. How zygote is formed? Fusion of male and female gametes. And it keeps on dividing and then traveling through the oviduct. And in this process, if you see, different layers of eggs are formed over the egg, and then it turns into hard shell or covering of the egg, isn't it? And when this hard shell is formed, then the hen lays the egg. Then it takes almost 3 weeks for the embryo to develop into a chick, and then the hen hatch over. That is, a hen often sits over the egg to provide enough warmth. Then it hatch out into new individual. And the type of now about external fertilization. The type of fertilization in which fusion of male and female gamete takes place outside the body of the female is called as external fertilization. Here it is very common in animals like fish, starfish, frog, etc. Now if you see many animals, extra fertilization takes place outside the body of the female. Especially in these animals, fertilization takes place in water. Now let's see how in water fertilization takes place. For example, let us see about fertilization in frog. So during spring or rainy season, frog or toads, they move to ponds and slow flowing streams. Then when male and female come together in water, and female lays hundreds of eggs. Unlike hen's egg, we know that frog's egg is not covered by shell and it is comparatively very delicate. So here in the picture you can see the layer of jelly holds the egg together and provide protection to the eggs because the frog's egg is not covered by a shell. So in order to give protection, a layer of jelly, it holds the egg together. Understood? And then we can see that bunches of eggs together. Then after the eggs are laid, the male deposits sperms over them, and each sperm swims randomly in water with the help of its long tail. Then the sperms come in contact with the egg. This results in fertilization. Now this type of fertilization, in which fusion of male and female gamete takes place outside the body of the female, is called as external fertilization. So where external fertilization takes place? In aquatic animals like fish, starfish, frog, etc. Now you may get one question: why do fish and frog lays hundreds of eggs, whereas hens lay only one egg at a time? The reason behind this, even though these are animals, aquatic animals, lay hundreds of eggs and they release millions of sperms, all the eggs do not get fertilized and develop into new individual. Why? Because the eggs and sperms, they are exposed to water, moving water, wind and rainfall, as well as there are predators, other animals in the pond which may feed on the eggs. Thus, in the production of large number of eggs and sperms is necessary to ensure the fertilization of at least few of them. If they lay hundreds of eggs and millions of sperms, there is a chance of fertilization takes place between few of them. That is the reason why they lay hundreds of eggs and millions of sperms. And okay children, let's stop the session here. In this session, we have learnt about fertilization. That is a fusion of ovum, female gamete called as ovum or egg, and the male gamete called as sperm is called as fertilization. Then fertilization results in the formation of zygote. Then we have learnt about internal fertilization and external fertilization. If we find the distinguish between internal and external fertilization, the fertilization process takes place inside the female body is called as internal fertilization. The fertilization process, it takes place outside the body of the female, is called as external fertilization. Then in internal fertilization, less number of eggs are produced by females, as there are chance of survival of the offspring is very high. And in external fertilization, large number of eggs are produced by females, as the chances of survival of offsprings are very low. And examples of internal fertilization: cow, humans, hens, etc. And examples of external fertilization, especially aquatic animals like fishes, amphibians like frogs, etc. That's all for this session. Thank you.